Hello, everyone. This is Gary. I wanted to go over a topic that's been asked of me several times over the past couple of years. Just how I get into computer programming and things like that, and how I've gotten into my career field at such a young age. So, programming is not the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely not the hardest thing to do. When I was younger, before middle school, before sixth grade even, my dad kind of introduced me into building computers, taking old computer parts and building a new computer from them, which was old parts and things like that, slow computers. And today I actually build my own computers most of the time. Unless it's a Mac, I build my own computer. I will not go to anywhere to buy a computer. So how did I actually get into coding, you may ask? Well, at the end of my sixth grade year, or during my sixth grade year, I took a typing class, and at the end of this typing class, they introduced us to HTML. And by seeing the HTML code and what I could do with it and things like that, my imagination just sparked. It just went like wildfire. So during my summer between sixth and seventh grade, I started learning CSS and JavaScript. Just basically the basics of JavaScript and the basics of CSS, changing background colors, margins, and things like that in the HTML on a website. So by the time I went to my seventh grade year, I could build a static website pretty easily. So from during my seventh grade year, I actually bought a textbook, and it was called like JavaScript for Dummies or something like that, which was kind of weird. And it kind of learned me, I kind of learned jQuery and different frameworks and things like that revolving around JavaScript, and how to do AJAX calls and things within JavaScript. And during my seventh grade year, I started learning a little bit of server-side programming. I did not learn MySQL at this point. During the summer between my seventh and eighth grade year, I started learning basic MySQL support within PHP. And I didn't have my framework at that point. I didn't use any kind of programming frameworks. I just used straight up PHP code to do everything. So after my eighth grade year, during the summer I started building a social network. It was called Blabaway. Very basic. Just had some things like photos and things like that. Did not actually convert photos into any other photo type or any kind of file extensions or anything like that. It just kind of stored the photo and it just left them there. So during my eighth grade year and things like that, I started learning a little bit about the different frameworks within PHP. And I mean, that was my ninth grade year, I'm sorry. And during my 10th grade year, I started building just some basic frameworks. And during my senior year of high school, I actually started building a framework called Basic MVC, which is a framework that ran a lot of my websites in the past. And what you're watching here in this video is me using Basic MVC to build a website called Twillo. And what Twillo was, it was a social network. It was kind of like Blabaway, and it was originally supposed to replace Blabaway in a sense. Because I didn't like the green color scheme and things like that back then. Today I still have Blabaway. I do not have Twillo anymore. Twillo, I kind of just closed the project. It was not popular at all, and Blabaway, I still work on Blabaway even today. And we just wrote the PHP Steroid framework, which most of that's not open source. And a lot of it is open source, which I go through on a lot of the videos and things like that to show you guys how to build a framework. And the framework we're actually building is PHP Steroid. So, anywho, today I'm actually rewriting the Blabaway website into a PHP Steroid install, because PHP Steroid knows how to use iNet portals very well. So basically throughout my high school years, I started learning Python, I started learning Java, I started learning a little bit of Objective-C, a little bit of C code, and today I'm starting to learn assembly and C++ and C# and things like that to get me into the client-side application world. That way, later on, I can build an operating system. So, getting into the programming field is not really hard, and it's not expensive. You don't have to go to college through it. You can learn from the internet.